Hey everyone, it's been a while, hasn't it? If you've been wondering where I disappeared to for the past month or so, well, the short answer is I've been living. The longer answer, well, that's what today's video is going to be all about. Because sometimes life hands you a reminder, a little or not so little nudge that says, stop waiting, stop planning, just go, just do it. And that's exactly what I did. I packed my bags, hopped on a plane to Ireland, walked part of the Camino de Madrid in Spain, and wandered through Edinburgh. And somewhere in between that, exhaustion and awe, I started to find a new kind of peace. So today I want to share that story with you, not as a comeback video, but as a continuation, because reinvention doesn't end when we stop filming. Sometimes it begins when we put the camera down. As many of you know, a few months ago YouTube lost a fellow content creator, someone who, like me, was using their channel to explore life and retirement. It was sudden, it was hard, and it made me question everything. Why do we keep putting things off? Trips we want to take, people we want to see, things we want to create, even taking better care of our health. We put them off, always thinking we'll have more time later, until later doesn't really come. And I remember sitting there thinking, is this what I want my retirement to look like? What am I waiting for? So I stopped waiting. I booked a flight to Ireland almost on impulse. Within 3 days, I was walking along the river in Dublin. There's something about Dublin that feels instantly alive. The music that spills out of the pubs, the people that actually stop and talk to you. Dublin was the perfect place for my first solo trip. It was calm yet exciting. One afternoon, I was wandering into Trinity College and I found myself lost in their old library, surrounded by history and students studying. And it was humbling yet oddly comforting, maybe because I'm kind of a sucker for old libraries. Later, I found a little pub tucked down a little side road, the kind where no one's really in a hurry. I sat by the window watching the world go by, and I grabbed a bite to eat. I listened to two older men debating which type of football was better. And I laughed out loud, not because of their strong Irish accents or how animated they were, but because in that moment I realized I was exactly where I was supposed to be. It wasn't about sightseeing. It wasn't about checking things off of a list. It was about feeling alive again. Letting the world unfold without planning it, without filming it, without needing to do anything other than just be there and enjoy it. Dublin reminded me that sometimes the smallest, simplest moments, a song, a smile, a shared laugh with a stranger that quickly becomes a friend, are the ones that wake us up again. Dublin truly turned into the perfect start of my first solo trip. From Ireland, I hopped on another plane and I went to Spain to walk part of the Camino de Madrid. It's one of the lesser known pilgrimage routes, quieter and more introspective than the famous Camino Frances, which I'd walked in the past. And that's what I really wanted. I wanted the quiet. The Camino isn't really about the distance you walk. It's about what happens inside while you walk. Some days were hard. The distance, the lack of towns between stops, and the heat, which I was ill prepared for. But every step stripped away a little more noise until what was left was just me. I wasn't a YouTuber. I wasn't a retiree trying to reinvent herself. I was just a woman on a dusty path, learning how to listen again, to my body, to my thoughts, and to life itself. And after Spain, I went to Edinburgh, partly because I love castles and cobblestones, and partly because I felt like it was a good place to sit and think. And Edinburgh, with its misty streets and endless cups of coffee, became yet another classroom for reflection. I spent days just walking in the rain, thinking about everything yet nothing all at once. I thought a lot about this YouTube grind, about the why I started it in the first place, about how much pressure I put on myself to keep up. At one point, I had this light bulb moment and I realized I'm retired. I'm supposed to be slowing down, not running a unpaid full-time job for the algorithm. That's when it hit me. Living my best life in retirement isn't about doing more. It's about being more present. It was in this stage of my trip that again I was slapped with reality. One night in my hostel, I met a man who had been traveling for 3 months. He had told me that he had lost his entire family in a car accident. His wife and children were gone. He told me he had run away from home because he couldn't be there anymore. He said traveling was his way of trying to find a reason to keep going. That conversation stayed with me. It again reminded me that none of us know how much time we get, but we can decide how we use that time. And that night I promised myself no more waiting for someday, because someday is not guaranteed. When I returned home, I started to look at my life differently. I realized how easy it is to turn retirement into another productivity project, setting goals, tracking steps, measuring progress. But the truth is, the best moments aren't the ones that we measure. They can't be measured. It's the road trip I took with my daughter, the coffee with friends, the quiet mornings where the only to-do is gratitude. These past few weeks have taught me that my reinvention journey isn't about becoming someone new. It's really about coming home to myself. So, where does this leave YouTube? Honestly, I'm still figuring that out. I love creating videos. I love connecting with you, sharing reflections, stories, and lessons from this stage of our lives. But I'm also learning to give myself grace. If I don't post twice a week, that's okay. If a video doesn't get the views I had hoped it would get, that's okay too. I might even change my niche a little, or even my channel name, to better reflect this next chapter. Maybe more storytelling, more travel reflections, more of what feels real. I honestly have been having trouble understanding what you would like to see more of. So if there's something that you want to see, let me know in the comments. And if there's interest, I'd love to bring back those YouTube journey update videos, the kind that remind us we're all trying to figure this YouTube thing out together. I really enjoyed making those videos. Let me know in the comments again. Is it something you'd like to see me do more of? I've also been thinking a lot about the business side of YouTube lately. You know, the pressure to level up, to start channel memberships or Patreon, because that's what other YouTubers are doing. I've had people suggest it, and I'll admit I've thought about it, and I've even talked about it in one of my live streams. But here's the truth. At this point in my life, I don't really want to do it. I don't want anyone to feel like they have to pay to watch my videos or be part of this community. I started this channel because I wanted to share my journey, the good, the messy, and the honest parts. Not because I wanted to turn it into a full-time business. I don't want there to be a premium version of my story. I want this space to stay open and genuine, the kind of place where we can just connect as real people figuring life out after 60. And sure, I could create members only videos, the extra perks, or early access, but that feels a little too much like putting a velvet rope around something that's meant to be shared freely. And more honestly, I just don't want the extra work. For me, reinvention in retirement isn't about hustling harder. It's about slowing down and doing things for the right reasons, for me. If one of my videos makes someone feel seen or less alone or inspired to take a small step, that's payment enough for me. So for now, there won't be memberships or Patreon links. I will keep my Buy Me a Coffee for people that wish to support the channel in that way, as there's really no additional work to that. Just videos from the heart, reflections, stories, lessons, and laughter, shared openly, because I still believe the best things in life aren't behind a paywall. I am just grateful for you, for everyone that watches my videos and comments and supports my channel. I truly see you and I appreciate you. These past 6 weeks have reminded me that gratitude is everything. It's the anchor that holds us steady when life feels uncertain. Gratitude for friends who check in, for viewers who don't unsubscribe when you disappear for a while, for every sunrise we still get to see. And I've realized that living a grateful life is the reinvention. It's not about changing who you are, it's about noticing who you already are and giving yourself space to breathe. If there's one thing I hope that you can take away from this video is this: stop waiting. Book the flight, start the project, take the walk, call the old friend, say yes to the things that you've been putting off. Because life is happening now and it's too precious to keep on pause. Thank you for being here, for walking this journey with me, and for reminding me that even when I step away, this community is still here. If this message resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with someone that you think might find it useful. Here's to the next chapter and to embracing every single day with gratitude. We'll see you on the next one.